Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangin podcast, where we get together at the end of every week and we talk about our lives. So, first things first, I know this isn't uploaded at our usual time of 12 p.m. noon on Tuesdays, but that's because somebody decided that they were special and that we could move the episode back for them. So let's give a big old round of applause and happy birthday to Jacob! Woo!
Birthday to you.
I wish I had like one of those little party blower things.
Blowers, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the time of recording this, it is Saturday, April 8th, 9:38 p.m. But Jacob said, my birthday's on Wednesday, so let's push that video back to Wednesday. And I said, okay. So it's going to be a little confusing listening to this because also we're going to be talking about Easter a little bit. And by the time this is up, Easter is already passed. So that's that. Anyway, that's it for me. Who do I have with me today?
It's your boy, Boodle, a.k.a. Big Sexy.
Dude,
and,
he's the Big Sexy.
What can I say? It's another episode. I'll get into my week once we actually get into the podcast. But who else do we have with us?
Yeah, you got your friendly neighborhood sexy mother lover, and we're going to what?
What?
It's still not the right one, dude. It's still not the right one.
Is that not the right one?
No.
Dude, I keep on giving myself
friendly,
like a phantom memory.
It's
Like
your
that's what I keep
friendly
saying.
neighborhood mother lover.
Okay,
That's
there.
it.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
So, guys, I'm not a sexy neighborhood mother lover, so I guess I'll just be a friendly neighborhood mother
No one's
lover.
saying you're not sexy. It just doesn't roll off the tongue, okay? And sexy is Boodle's thing, okay? You're gonna come for his brand.
Yeah, I am going to come for his brand.
You're gonna come on him.
First, you get a damn. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Anyways. So, yeah, with that being said, how's everybody's weeks?
Why don't
wants
you
to go
start
first?
it off, big boy?
Okay, well, so yeah, I'll start with the very first event. I actually have already linked it to the Discord. Sunday, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to buy some CSGO cases, and I ended up pulling a like $1,700 knife.
Well, is it 1,700?
Yeah, no, that is $1,700 right now.
Jesus Christ!
So it's gone up $200 since I pulled it.
Jesus.
It was originally a $1,500 knife.
Holy crap, dude! You're making gains on that.
But yeah, no, it was crazy. Like it was within 15 minutes of a mutual friend of all of us, and yeah, he ended up pulling up a factory new tiger tooth flip knife or something like that, or
It was a Talon knife.
Talon knife. And I ended up pulling just the vanilla karambit. But that happened Sunday, and I linked, like I said, I linked the reaction videos. Noah had mashed them together, and he's already kind of uploaded them on YouTube. But I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna use this for podcast. So
I'll post it in the description of the video.
yeah, but yeah. So other than that, it's been very uneventful week. You know, this last episode of The Mandalorian kind of slapped.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed it. I told Boodle, I was having mixed feelings about Lizzo.
Dude.
Or spoilers.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't
Well,
watched
if you
it
haven't seen
already.
it by now, fuck you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I had mixed feelings about seeing Lizzo up there. I didn't like it at first, but then I was like, okay, this is like no offense to She-Hulk, but it's way better than the Megan Thee Stallion cameo.
It kind of was, honestly. Because the thing with hers in this is she was her own character, and so was
Yeah.
Jack Black.
She wasn't
Wow.
Lizzo.
Yeah,
Imagine-
and she did great. I
Imagine
loved
if
her.
she
did
was
great.
Lizzo though, and the fucking Star Wars universe is just Lizzo.
It would just be confusing.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, this episode had a ton of cameos. You know, it had Lloyd, fucking Doc Martin from Back to the Future in it.
Yeah, he was in it too.
Had fucking let's see, Jack Black. I mean,
Love
dude,
him.
Yeah.
Jack Black's my favorite like before we even started this recent like D&D stuff, we had one going on that lasted for like one session, and I based my character off of Jack Black and named him Dax Blacks.
Yep.
And his backstory was basically the entire premises of the Pick of Destiny. So I'm a big Jack Black fan, love him. But we had our D&D session for One Piece
Dude.
yesterday, and shit's heating up. I'm like facing a huge decision with a sword that we found. It's a cursed blade,
Ooh.
and basically, if I've been told straight up that, hey, if you take this blade and you try to attune to it, because you have to do that for all your cursed weapons, there could be dire consequences, which means that I could either die or other people that we play with could die. And I'm just kind of like, whoa, okay.
I hope it kills Budo.
Oh, Michael's there! Michael's there!
Michael review. Okay.
Michael review. But yeah, no, me and Boodle, we actually start another D&D campaign tomorrow at 6:30.
Won't that get confusing?
See, no. I need to figure out if I can make it, because I'm gonna go eat with my mom tomorrow.
You're gonna go eat out your mom?
Why would you say that?
Go.
It's who I am, bud.
But other than that, like I said, didn't have really anything too much exciting. But why don't we go ahead and break the news with Hannah?
What?
What happened to you this week?
What happened to me? Oh! I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you want to wait?
Okay,
we'll save yours for last.
We'll get into that.
What happened with me?
No, with me, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, with Hannah.
Well, that's bitch.
Yeah. What did happen? Shit.
Well, let's go into your week first.
I guess, let's go into your week, and then we'll get into
get into that.
Okay, well, this week, I mean, technically I didn't really talk about my week before because something big happened. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I got demoted at work.
Dude.
Oh.
Fuck
yeah.
I'm going to find your boss, and I'm going to do things to him that I can't say on the internet.
Anyway, but yeah, that happened. I'm kind of over it now.
I want to put you in a pickle jar. Go on. Sorry.
Anyway. But yeah, I've been getting into CSGO as well. Other than that, honestly, I haven't really done much. Just been watching One Piece with Jacob and then the D&D stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, my week's been kind of just depressing just because I'm like,
Yeah. Everything's been so fucking depressing lately. Like, honestly, like, state of the world fucking aside, like, we can get into that a little bit later. But state of the world, like, aside, life has just been really fucking depressing. You getting demoted. Something's probably depressing in Jacob's life.
Oh God, yeah, fuck. I cried on my way home today, so yeah, yeah.
That's sad.
It's just.
But fucking the last couple, probably about a month or two now at work, like our hours have been cut a fuck ton. Like we were not allowed to get overtime. We have to clock in exactly on time, clock out exactly on time. Otherwise, like, we'll get fucking in trouble or whatever. I never realized how much I actually relied on overtime. Like, every time I get paid, automatically $150 goes into my savings account. And I try not to touch that, but shit happens sometimes. But aside from the money that goes into savings, usually I'm raking up like $1,100 each paycheck. Lately, my paychecks have been like $800, $700 like dollars. So that's like significantly less than I usually make.
Yep.
And it's really fucking annoying because apparently this is going to be happening until June.
So, Hannah, I actually meant to ask you this like a lot sooner. Is there like the equivalent of what you do for like?
Yes.
Okay.
But they're franchised. And we're owned by the company, so we're good.
Okay, gotcha.
So they can do some shady shit. But it's just really frustrating because they want us to go above and fucking beyond, bend over backwards for these customers, get amazing surveys, and like get everything we need to get done, but not have time for it. And I'm barely hitting 40 hours. Like I'm getting like 35, 36, 37 hours.
That's fucked.
So like I cried a lot because of it in the state of the world. But awesome, exciting news for me. I'm sorry, Buddha, were you still talking?
Yeah, I was done.
Oh, you were done. Okay.
Like I said, my week hasn't really been anything.
My week has sucked. Work lately, it's been really annoying. Work has actually been really fucking boring. Like nothing really interesting has happened except today. Okay, so today wasn't a bad day when it came to like workload or just the amount of people coming in and out of the store, but every fucking person that came in and out of the store was either really fucking stupid, annoying, or rude as fuck. And I had this one customer who just kept fucking calling and calling and calling after every time they sent an email, and I was like, babe, you gotta fucking stop calling. Like, it's busy. I'll respond to your email. Oh my god. But there was this one woman who came in. She was going to, do something, and she's like, I need a copy. And I was like, okay, I'll make you a copy. And I like to give them the price before I do it, just in case, you don't want to, like, do something and then, like, tell them the price, and then they'll go, blah, 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 blah. I wish you told me that before. So I told her the price, and then she takes her paper. This is her paper. She takes it. She snatches this up. She goes, that's really fucking outrageous. And then, like, walks out the door and, like, slams the door on her way out. I was like, okay, bitch, what happened to, oh, that's a little too much for me. I'll go somewhere else. Nothing. She just fucking went 0 to 100 real quick.
Customer service is really hard sometimes because you like, it seems like most days, like I've always heard one thing like I can say about the customer service field is that like you hear the saying, when it rains it pours.
Yep.
Right. That is also the same way with like, assholes and fucking Karens and bullshit like that. I mean, I just got to a point where I was just like, fuck, I just don't want to talk to nobody.
Where does the entitlement come from? Like, whoever came up with the customer's always right needs to get a pole shoved up their ass and like hung upside down.
That we had a fucking customer today that returned a phone, got a refund, came back 2 hours later, and was like, "Can we undo that?"
No.
And the phone's already gone because the DM was already like at the store to grab the phone, to like take it off to send it off somewhere. I don't know. So we didn't have it anymore, and we can't even do that anyway. And we were telling the lady like, "No, ma'am, the phone is already gone. You've returned it."
Yeah.
So no.
Do they not think?
No. And she's mad because she didn't have a phone. I was just like, yeah.
You probably should have.
Only one you had.
Thought of that.
Yeah.
Like that. That's like 100% on you, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, luckily I wasn't dealing with it. I was just sitting in the back. I was like, look, this was your customer. I'm not dealing with her.
Yeah.
She's slow.
Damn. There's some
New York, which is funny.
Was that at the location, or was that? Oh, okay. Yeah. So whenever I worked for, I had to go to court for a customer like that.
Yeah.
You had to go to
court? For a belligerent customer. Like, this is back when we had the mask policies and everything, and the guy came in and he was like, he wasn't wearing his mask, and I'm like, well, hey man, listen. You tell me you have asthma, I'm not going to say, hey, you need a mask. And he's like, well, I don't have asthma. And I'm like, okay, well then you need a mask. And he's like, well, I don't need a mask. You're violating the some stupid amendment that didn't even pertain to it. And I'm like, okay, well, company policy states that I have the right to refuse service to anybody. So unless you have a mask, I can't serve you. And he was like, well, this is fucking ridiculous. And walks all the way to Dollar General and buys like a pack of masks, and comes in. And he's just super belligerent, still, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to try. I'm not a confrontation guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't like confrontation, and just as long, I feel like sometimes I can just solve it like pretty peacefully.
Mhm.
Gotta
But
kill him with kindness.
well, see, that's kind of what happens. Or kind of what happened. People sometimes take my kindness for weakness, right? And this dude, he bought a phone from me, right? He dropped it like immediately after that and got really pissy because it cracked the screen. He said I broke it, and basically he kept on calling the store. And long story short, the guy was fucking nuts, and he was saying that he was going to have his friends that were police officers come and shoot the store up, and this and this and this. And I'm like, well, sir, you send the police officers over here and tell them to shoot the stores up. I said, I'll gladly martyr, police reform, and we'll just go from there, and so eventually, the guy kept on calling for like a whole week.
Jesus.
And was like making these threats, and they basically had to take me out of that store and put me in for like a long time. And that's where Boodle worked at, like primarily all the time. But basically it was like the guy was like seriously fucked up in the head.
Did you guys obviously you went to court, you reported him, never mind.
Yeah. Well, so he came to the store then like 2 or 3 days after that and started harassing the store manager of the location I was at, and basically he received a trespass charge and everything. So I had to go. For some reason, they did not file it correctly in the system. So the manager was supposed to go to court versus me. I wasn't a manager. The manager was supposed to go to court with them. And we started waiting. Like, I was there at the courthouse probably up until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And keep in mind, I was no longer with the company at that point because I started car sales literally probably 3 weeks prior. And yeah. And he ended up getting the case dismissed, but come to find out, he got arrested like a year later. He got arrested for the same shit like a year later. So for threatening phone calls and
what a fucking freak. I hope he dies painfully.
Nah.
Bruh.
Yep. Derek, if you're watching this, fuck you, man.
Fuck you, Derek. I hope your wife and kids die too.
Yeah.
I
don't even know if you did.
That's insane. I've never had anything like that happen to me, but now that we're kind of into it, during the height of COVID, my manager put these like these little things up. You know, like when you're going to a place and they have like the little poles that have the, the thing that goes across it. Kind of like like the seatbelt.
Yeah.
So you have like those poles with that like seatbelt material that goes across it, kind of like to act as a barrier. I'll put a picture up in the Discord and I'll put it in the YouTube video so people know what I'm talking about. Sorry, Spotify wish noise.
Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah. Please, we have 11 subscribers. We're so famous.
Dude, were we so famous?
We're so fucking famous right now, guys.
True.
But he put those up because, to keep people in line, because it's kind of clear, but it's also kind of not clear where you're supposed to stand in line at the old store. So he put those up, and we had our little decals and our 6-foot little decals on the ground to keep people away from each other. And this one guy went it was a Saturday, and it was during the Christmas time. So it was already fucking annoying and insane. So this guy goes around so I'm helping him, and then just as he's leaving, I said, okay, sir, next time you come in, just so you're aware, we're just gonna have people follow this line and line up here. And he goes, I don't know what he said, but he was really fucking rude and started going off on me. And I was like, I'm sorry, sir, I'm just doing my job and following the policies in place. And he goes, dead ass, I don't remember if I told you that guy's this, but he dead ass, he looks at me, he goes, the Nazis were just following orders too.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You remember that? And I was like, what the
I don't know if
fuck? And I got so mad because one, why are we bringing up Nazis? Why do they always bring up Nazis? I went in the bathroom and I looked over at my coworker for the day who worked at another store, and I'm like, I need a minute. I went in the bathroom, I sat on the ground, and I was shaking. I was like bawling my eyes out because I was so mad. Because like, what? Just say,
Yeah.
okay, I'll remember that for next time. How hard is it to like not be an asshole and just be like, okay?
Dude, I don't understand either.
Oh man,
I get so fucking pissed.
we're 20
'Cause
minutes
it's
into
all the
this,
same.
and all we talked about is terrible customers. Maybe this is our Hangin
Yeah.
ranting podcast, okay?
Ranting podcast.
Like I messaged you guys earlier the other day. You guys remember that? I'm like, can we just have like a serious fucking episode next time? It's just been so fucking rough in the world.
Yeah.
Haven't heard any news on the Restrict Act yet. I thought they were supposed to vote on it a couple days ago, but nothing's come out of it.
Yeah.
Which is good, because, like, you see fucking people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, I think Lindsey Graham. I think he's one of the people that signed the Restrict Act, and he, like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I can look into this later, but I'm pretty sure it was him on fucking TV saying he doesn't support the Restrict Act, and the person, like, at the company was like, but you signed it. You signed it.
I'm sorry, I'm not informed. What is the Restrict Act?
So it's the bill that was kind of advertised as a bill that would just ban TikTok. It was just advertised as a bill to ban TikTok, but if you actually read it and you looked into it a little bit more, it was a lot more than that. Basically gives the government like control over the entire fucking internet. You see that camera I have right there?
Yeah,
they can look into that whenever they want. They can shut down websites whenever they want. Basically, just fucking spy on you. You know, like they do now, but 10 times worse. And like everyone knows about it. And you want to use a VPN to access a banned site? $200,000 of a fine, potentially 20 years in prison, just for using a VPN.
Wow.
See, most people use VPNs just because they don't want websites to like, you know, track them.
Track their information.
Yeah. Like, even fucking Amazon, like, fucking, whatever. Or, like, just to access, like, media. A lot of people use it to access, like, shows and stuff from, like, Canadian Netflix that might not be on American Netflix, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And up to 20 years in jail?
That's fucking stupid. And so
when I'm agreeing with people like Candace Owens and Joe Rogan and fucking Tucker Carlson, then you know there's a fucking issue.
Yeah, no, I mean that is a fucking issue. And see, this is like big for me because, you know, I'm all about like your personal freedom. Like I would consider myself as a libertarian, right? You know, there should be the right, you know, you should have the right to express yourself freely. You know, you should have the right to, you know, do what you want to do. You know, like I'm you as a person, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want with no governmental restrictions on what you do yourself.
To an extent.
You know? Well, yeah, okay, to an extent, like more or less like the freedoms that you have to
like harmless stuff.
Yeah, like harmless stuff, right? Like for me, you know, this is like start of fucking 1984. I mean, basically what you just said.
Yeah.
And for any of our listeners who are I guess are listening or even viewing this on YouTube, 1984 is a book by George Orwell that is like a dystopian future society which the government controls every aspect of their life.
Can they like listen to their thoughts or something too, or did I misinterpret that?
You know, I can't remember if they like actually listen to the thoughts or if it's like something that I'm sure it is because George Orwell. So George Orwell, as brilliant of a mind as he was batshit crazy at some points. So it is very possible.
Yeah,
but
I
mean,
on the shelf over there, Spotify listeners.
Yeah, Boodle, that's one that I would highly recommend you.
Have you not read that?
I have. We read it during school.
Yeah.
Y'all read it during school. See. I wish I would have read it during school because, like, it would have.
That's the one with like the earbuds, but they weren't earbuds.
Yeah, and the victory vodka and stuff like that. He talks about Big Brother all the time.
And he had sex with that girl, and wasn't she like working with the government or something?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't read it, fuck you.
And
I'm sorry.
everyone goes back to that book, and it's like, well, yeah, the fucking government's a nightmare.
Yeah, but see, my thing is like, to me, 1984 is whenever it was released, it was a warning to America.
Wasn't it
to
written
not
in
end up like
1948? Didn't they just?
it was written just after World War II. You know, it very so. If I'm not mistaken, like it's very based off of like Soviet, like the Soviet style.
Yep.
But because I want to say that the name of the vodka that they drink all the time is Bolshevik vodka, but anyways, long story short, see, this is for me as a libertarian and somebody who can see nice in everybody, and I don't know if that's just naivety, but
you have
or
to.
naivety.
Well, I mean, that's try.
I feel like I'm like just so naive whenever it comes to other people and like respecting them, because like there are a piece of shits out there in the world, and then we can't even fucking agree on, you know, everything, and see, that's part of my issue with today's society, is that, you know, everything's just too polarizing. You know, you can't form a conversation anymore with anybody who you disagree with before they get their feelings hurt and you get your feelings hurt in that regard. You know, that's my kind of thing, is that we need to have more casual conversations about everything and figure out how we can, you know, grow as a nation.
I used to be like that. I used to be like, well, why can't we just listen to each other? Why can't we this, that? But if you really think about it, if you believe that people shouldn't have the same basic fucking rights as you because they're gay or whatever, then why would I continue to listen to you or try to, like, reason with you? Because if you believe I shouldn't have rights because I like to look at tits, then, like, I'm not going to continue on with that conversation. I'm not even going to bother going any further.
I 100% agree with that statement. But, you know, this is basically what we're going through with trans rights and LGBTQ rights is pretty. I wouldn't say that it. Well, I would say that it's on the same level as the civil rights, right?
I'm just
pretty close to it. If it's not the same, it's pretty close to it.
Speaking of LGBT rights, I think we should nail down a date. I already got the tax stuff. I got that sorted. I figure out. I got how to donate. What are we thinking about? About 2 weeks time, Sunday, January, Sunday, April 23rd. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, what time?
Let's do it.
I don't know. Do you work?
Well, we got the new D&D thing.
Well, I figured probably I figured we can do a couple hours, so probably like 12 to 2 or 12 to 3 or something.
Oh.
Not at night. I kind of want to figured like I thought 2 weeks maybe would be enough for you to like request a time off and be like, hey, something's come up. But yeah. I want to get that out there, so then I'll come up with a promotional thing. Maybe after this we can like record something and do something, but then really fucking push it like every day.
Yeah.
So that's it officially. Sunday, April 23rd, we are going to be doing our charity stream for the Trevor Project. All the proceeds that we may or may not raise. If this is a fucking flop, at least we tried. But any proceeds that we make from the stream will go directly to the Trevor Fund. But it's going to happen. So 12 to 3 p.m. I think that'll work. That'll be good. Just to...
Okay.
Hey, and we
might have to work around with the time.
Yeah, but
we'll figure out a way.
At least 3 hours. We can get other people involved. We can play other games and just make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of trans rights, before I get into my little good news and epic news, did you see the whole controversy? I'm putting that lightly with quotes with Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
So Bud Light did a little sponsorship with Dylan.
Anheuser-Busch made Dylan Mulvaney the spokesperson or I guess the face of Bud Light. And it's causing like people to fucking freak out and shit.
Like, didn't Kid Rock literally record and post a video of himself shooting fucking beer cans.
That he paid for, by the way.
So I will never understand, like, if you, like, buy music or you buy something like beer or whatever the fuck it is, and something happens and you're like, I don't agree with this, why would you destroy your merchandise, destroy your alcohol, destroy stuff you already spent your hard-earned money on? Why not sell it or just give it to somebody else? Like, that, I look funny in this angle, but it is not the own that you think it is. But, like, seriously, like, when James Charles, when that shit happened, everyone was, like, destroying their palettes. I'm like, but you already spent, like, $40 on it, so you're just fucking yourself.
Yeah, because at that point, they've already made theirs, you know?
Like, he's already got your money. Like, Bud Light's already got your money.
Listen, I don't agree with what's going on with it, but rule number one for a boycott is not buying the product. So basically, if you're wanting to start a boycott and you buy the product and you're like, oh yeah, I'm Kid Rock, I'm gonna fucking shoot these motherfuckers, you know, that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah, like, we don't care. Also, but then I'll find it, I'll post it in the YouTube video too, but then somebody posted it's a picture of, like, Kid Rock drinking beer with a drag queen.
Yep.
Okay, babe.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's whenever he didn't need any added fame.
There's also, like, Dylan Mulvaney got, like, a sponsorship or, like, was working with Nike. And now everyone's fucking like, well, what about real women? What about this? What about that? Caitlyn fucking Jenner is even attacking Dylan. I'm like, how? You're a trans woman. And you're being like, well, trans women shouldn't model sports bras and this and that. And, like, let's just put this out there. Where was this attitude from Caitlyn Jenner when she got fucking Woman of the Year the year she came out? Which, you know, like, deserve. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner is a fucking, you know, what's the word? Athlete. Like, an incredibly talented athlete and has won, like, medals and whatnot. And, like, is a very successful person. But she came out and all of a sudden she's, like, anti-LGBT and just, like, a conservative, like, loser.
It's South Park.
And I just don't get it, because just because you're on their side doesn't mean they're not going to turn against you too because of your identity.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Caitlyn hadn't received. I mean, I'm sure that she has received like a bunch of backlash over those comments, but I'm surprised that it's not it's not headline worthy. You know, like, I haven't seen anything in the headlines after she said what she said.
No longer being associated with the Kardashians kind of make Caitlyn irrelevant, I think.
Well, honestly, I going into the keeping up with the Kardashians, that's a different story. But I just don't see how people can do it. Honestly, I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
I don't keep up with them, but, like, seeing, like, the clips and stuff, and if it's on TV, it's entertaining. I mean, it's reality TV. It's good.
The only thing that I've seen keeping up with, like, the Kardashians is whenever, like, Kim's crying about Northwest, like, possibly seeing, like, her sex tape whenever she grows up, and I was just like, well, I mean,
but it was leaked, so you can't really blame her.
I mean, I can't really blame her, but at the same time, like, it's Ray J, dude. Ray J's going to do that. I mean, Ray J's a piece of shit. But
I like seeing, and I know she's happy and she's moved on and she's married to Travis, which their 1-year wedding anniversary happened a couple days ago. Congrats. But, like, the clips of Courtney and Scott and, like, Scott Disick is fucking hilarious.
Dude, these people, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, maybe your listeners will, but, like, now we've moved on. We're, like, all over the place today, and I just needed this. I needed, like, to rant and, like, to get this out.
Dude, we had our rant.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But just the state of the world right now is just so fucked. Did you see those, in Tennessee, obviously, very sad, there was a shooting. And did we talk about this?
No.
There was a school shooting at a Christian school. The shooter happens to be a transgender man. So the news being the news, and the fact that we have social media, we can like relay news instantly, which is good. So you don't have to wait like for a newspaper to come out, or for the nightly news, or even back in the day on the radio. So you can like get everything as it's happening, but it's also a curse because you don't have all the facts immediately. So you're potentially you are maybe spreading misinformation without even realizing it. So the headline, and this is so fucked up. I just saw like a bunch of people tweeting, "Oh, finally, a woman did a mass shooting. Oh, finally, a win for women." I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, first of all? But then it was, well, it's a trans woman. But then you look, blah, 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 a couple hours later, it's actually a trans man. But instead of like people focusing on the fact that children and a couple adults got their lives ended abruptly, they're focusing on the identity of the attacker. And then it becomes, well, you see, a trans person committed a mass shooting. Trans people shouldn't have guns because they're mentally unstable. We need to restrict trans people from getting guns. But I thought, you know, gun restrictions were against the Constitution. I thought, you know, 2A protected you from anything and everything. See, you see, like, their arguments and then their viewpoints are switched when it's someone they don't like, but if it's them, you know, the million fucking other straight, white, cis, deranged dudes out there committing shootings, but it's, well, it is what it is. Second Amendment, give teachers guns. So, there are these 3 representatives in Tennessee who, you know, like they fucking should, when they see their people that they're representing protesting, they go out there and they fucking join them. Like, they stand up for the people and what they believe in, because that's their fucking job. That's what they were elected to do. 2 of them were black men. One of them was a white woman. And the two black men got expelled from their positions. They got relieved from their positions in office. I'm not gonna say why. I think it was just them who were expelled and not the woman, but we all know what I'm thinking. And it's just, and they're comparing it because like all these like kids and young people who are fighting for their rights, fighting for the lives of all the people who've already like got killed, versus an inanimate object. You know what I mean? So they're protesting. They're in there. They're like chanting. They're not making a mess. They're not actually rioting. They're not destroying things. They didn't go in there with the intent to harm people. But they're comparing it to January 6th. The January 6th insurrection. I'm sorry, me standing here chanting with a sign is not the same thing as these fucking Trump supporters going into the Capitol with the intent to harm people. It is not the same thing. And it's just really frustrating because how are we allowing this to happen? Why the fuck isn't the president doing anything? Okay? I voted for Biden. I wasn't gonna fucking vote for Trump again. Not again, I meant like a vote for him to be in office. I was 15 when he was elected. I never voted for Donald Trump. Well, let's put that out there. But like, I wasn't gonna vote for him. So I voted for Biden, the lesser of the two evils. But what the fuck is he doing?
He's just sitting there.
Like, and I get it, he's old or fucking whatever. But like, you're the president. You're supposed to be standing up for these people. What happened to codifying Roe v. Wade? All talk. What happened to protecting abortion rights? I just said that. What happened to protecting marriage rights? That fucking state, we talked about it a while ago on our fucking LGBT-centered episode, where they made it legal so city clerks can refuse marriage licenses to gay, interracial, or interfaith couples. What happened to that? Like, where are you? Big boy in charge of the entire fucking country. Where are you? Kamala Harris went down there and talked. the vice president, which finally fucking getting off her ass. Thank you. Finally doing something. And he hasn't even officially announced whether or not he's going to be running for office again for next year. I'm pretty sure we have 3 candidates for the Republican Party, 3 or 4, and we only have Marianne Williamson for the Democratic Party. Well, she's definitely got my vote, unless I see somebody better. But fucking right now, Marianne, baby.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not
I
sure.
don't even know.
I think one of the fucking Kennedys.
Oh yeah,
applied.
Robert Kennedy.
But who the fuck? And you see, he's all like anti-vax and everything too. I'm like, why you're running as a Democrat, but also being anti-vax? We don't need another fucking Kennedy in office. I'm so sick of like these rich people like coming in and trying to like make the country better and trying to talk to us like they have any fucking clue what the average fucking American citizen goes with. I like to see a Kennedy, or I like to see fucking Joe Biden or any of these fucking losers work a retail job, have to rely on like paycheck to paycheck to survive, barely survive. Anyway, Jacob, it's your birthday.
By the time like it's my birthday,
it's your birthday by the time this drops. What are your plans?
So honestly, I don't know. I don't know of any plans right yet. Usually we celebrate my birthday the day. Let's see. Usually it's either the day after or the Sunday after my birthday. Mm-hmm. So we don't have any plans made yet. Okay. But I would like to go watch a movie with a certain someone here, because that's like always my special like birthday thing. Is me and Boodle go to the movies and just like watch movies.
So two movies that I know you guys would be interested in seeing and are out now.
Mario.
Which one are you gonna see?
So I kind of want to see the D&D movie. Before I see the Mario movie.
Good choice. I don't know fucking anything about D&D or the lore or whatever else, but that movie was really fucking good. Like 10 out of 10. It's very rare for me to like watch something that's, based off of something that's already well established and that has like a cult like following like that without like having like at least a basic understanding of what the original content is, and be like entertained the entire time. And that entire movie, I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like very like immersed in the world, and it was very entertaining. I thought the visual effects were really nice. The comedy was well, and the actors that they had were fucking amazing. Like Chris Pine, the dude from Detective Pikachu, Hugh Grant. So like
Hugh James.
So I would say definitely see that movie. I fucking loved it. Michael said it was a 10 out of 10. He said it perfectly like captured what it was like to like be in an actual D&D session. He like the chaos and just everything.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
So I'm gonna put you on something. Me and Boodle will watch this.
So this is like kind of the same thing where it's like you don't need to know D&D.
The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime.
I've heard of that.
It's a show animated by the same people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes,
okay.
and it follows an actual campaign that happened from Critical Role. Yeah. And it's actually really cool because like the voice actress for Ellie from the Last of Us game is in it. The Jessica Bailey, I think that's her name. She does like a number of like voices. She was in the Last of Us game, but I can't remember the character. It was like the really bad, the person who kills Joel.
Spoilers.
But if you haven't played The Last of Us, or at least like seen anything on The Last of Us, I'm sorry. So, but yeah, but it has her. It has her in it, and then the other members have done like a number of like voice acting roles as well too. So it's really cool because they have their like own like character voices, and like I'm basing like in the next D&D campaign that I do, I'm basing Grog's character.
Yeah.
Like his speech off of his or for my character, so I'm just like oi, you know, I like to drink beer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I
But-
think you and Michael would like it. If you like the movie, which I assume the movie's like a more toned down version of that show, but
It's pretty
I
smart.
don't know.
no, it was a very fun show. I'll say
Yeah.
that. Just because the humor in it was good, and I would say give it a watch. I think you'll like it.
Okay, I'll keep it in the back of my brain.
Yeah, it's gonna be hidden there forever.
Yep, Easter. Again, by the time this is out, Easter would have already happened. But
Dude.
Easter plans. Let's start with you again, Jacob. Anything?
So, Easter plans. I actually am doing the D&D campaign, right, with my homies on Easter because that's how we roll.
Get it? Because you rolled dice to do your
Yeah,
moves.
dude, that was a pun intended. But other than that, just probably going over to mom's for lunch, and that's it.
All right.
So,
Simple. What about you, Boodle?
So tomorrow is actually my mom's birthday, so we're gonna go out to eat, and after that, I don't know. I really, I don't really have any ideas what I'm doing.
Okay.
Actually, no, we do have the new D&D session tomorrow, but that's the only other thing.
Okay. Well, my Easter plans, or what I have already had done by the time this is out, is it's also my grandmother's birthday. So she's gonna be 72 years old.
dude, me and your grandma share something in common.
What?
So she was born on Easter, right? Or
Like-
she wasn't born on Easter, but she has a birthday that falls on Easter,
Okay.
right? So I was actually born on Easter.
No way.
April 12th, 1998 was Easter Day.
Dude.
So yeah,
There you go.
that's interesting. But anyways, continue. Go ahead.
1998. God damn, you guys were born in a different century than I was.
We're 90s
Yeah.
babies. We're killing.
Kinda.
I told that
Yeah.
to Mike, and he had a moment.
Mhm.
But that's crazy to think about. Technically, not technically, yeah, a whole other century. Nice, you guys are old. But that's crazy to think about. But what I would have already done is on Easter is, again, my grandmother's birthday, also Gerard Way's birthday.
Oh my god.
So that's really cool. But I made my grandmother cake. I'll send it to you. I'll show you guys, but I'll post it in the YouTube video as well. It's a mess, but I was kind of going for that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It was on purpose, I promise. I made her a little cake. It was the first time I had ever done something like this, so it kind of sucked, but it tastes really good, I'm assuming. So it's gonna be good. It's a cinnamon toast crunch Betty Crocker cake with cinnamon toast crunch Betty Crocker, like, not syrup, frosting. So I'm excited for that. I hope she likes that. So we'll go over to her house in the morning, and then we're going to Mike's parents' house for like 2:00. And we're gonna bring the dog with us, and so he can, run around and be a dog and have a good time. So yeah, we talked about Easter. My big news, guys. Guess what fucking happened to me the other day?
Dude, Hannah,
What?
So
you're boss.
So the other day, I was doing my whole thing. I came home from work, took my shower, walked the dog, blah, blah, blah. So after my shower, because I washed my hair, okay? I washed my hair that night, so I grabbed the towel, I put it on my pillow, because I have dyed hair, and I don't want any color coming off on my pillow, just to be safe. And I'm scrolling through Facebook. I said, let me see what these little people on my feed are talking about before bed. And I saw a sponsored ad from Pierce the Veil promoting their latest album, The Jaws of Life. So I said, cool, let me watch this. And I saw something that caught my eye. I saw something really fucking interesting.
It was titties.
I saw me. I saw me, baby. I saw my fucking self from that video I did with the makeup to their song. And so I'm like, oh, that's really fucking cool. So I continue watching, and guess what I saw? I saw me again.
Yeah.
I saw me again. So I sent that to Boodle. I copied the link. Well, I made a TikTok first. So I'm like, oh, guys, look, I made a fucking Pierce the Veil ad on Facebook. So I sent that to Boodle, and I said, I need you to watch this and let me know what you see.
I thought you was gonna send me a screamer video.
A what?
You know those screamer videos where it's like it's a whole video and then it like jump scares you.
Oh, that lady? Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be one of those.
No.
Like, dude, watch this video.
Oh my god.
So I cried a little actually. I was like,
that's
oh my god, I'm in a Pierce the Veil ad. Like, if you had told, like, 8th grade me, so, like, 14 or 15-year-old me, that at the age of fucking 22, Pierce the Veil would they saved my TikTok to put it in an ad for their new album.
Yeah.
I would have, like, kicked you in the nuts and called you a liar. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm evil. But
Yeah,
I was so happy. And then so eventually I went to bed. And you know what else happened that night? Oh, I guess technically the next day. 3 a.m. I hear beep, beep, beep. The fire alarms in my building were going off. So like I'm like deep in sleep. I fall asleep around 12:30, so I'm already fucking annoyed because I finally gotten into a deep sleep. And I thought it was in my head. For some reason I thought I was dreaming about it. But then I saw, like, the lights flashing, so I turned on the light, and I'm like, Michael, wake up. And so he's like, I'm gonna go pee and put on my sweater. So,
just not even worried.
Exactly. If it was a real fire, he would've been fucked. But he was like, I didn't smell smoke. I'm like, okay. So we go outside, the fire, people come. It was nothing. My neighbor said that happened earlier in the day, so it's probably because it was like really humid that day. It was like 70 degrees, but it was also like pouring rain the day before, so the humidity is probably just fucking with it. But that was really annoying because then I had to go back to bed and wake up at like 7 o'clock to go to work. I was so tired on Friday, you had no idea. But yeah, that's really it that really happened. So
well, I'm happy you were in an advertisement. That's cool. They should have paid you though.
Honestly, or at least told me.
Yeah.
Like if I hadn't gone on Facebook that night, I wouldn't have seen that sponsored post, and I just would not have fucking known.
Dude, someone like later on would have been like, is this you?
It's you. But yeah, that's really it for me. That's really all I wanted to add. What about you guys?
I didn't say a whole lot because I'm not a very like political person, and I also am very sad.
Aw, don't care.
But yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if we're playing Tower Unite.
What's
but
this, Boodle? I mean, Jacob.
No, like whenever you're talking about the misinformation, like you said.
Oh
yeah, so I just wanted you to know I found the tweet because like 2 streams ago you're like, oh, this is Jacob.
Oh
this is
yeah.
Jacob right now.
I think that was the last stream, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't the last stream because last stream was Boodle's presentation.
Oh yeah. You talk all. Can we talk about that real quick before we sign off?
Oh yeah, how it fucking told me it was finished rendering, and then I upload the video. I watched the whole thing, by the way, and it still is like, it's the whole video. So YouTube fucked up, I guess. I don't know how.
So I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, I lived through this. Let me skim through it just to see. So I get to the end. It's like 52 minutes, and like it just ends. So I'm like, well, maybe he's just like, okay, I don't care what they have to say. They're fucking boring. Cut them off. What the fuck? My monitors went off. Cut them off.
Camera's like all fuzzy too.
I know. I'm not concerned about it. But yeah, I'm like talking. I'm having a conversation. I'm in the middle of a sentence, and the video just ends.
Yeah.
So I messaged the chat. I'm like, the video just cuts off, and then you're like, what do you mean? I'm like, it just ends abruptly.
I was getting mad because I was like, I know for a fact I put that outro in and rendered it after I did it. So I know I did it. So I was a bit upset. And when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
That's
So I guess
fine, though, because it wasn't really anything important after that.
But I actually did have an outro and everything. It was crazy.
But yeah, that was
I made
good.
it. Oh,
Apart from that, I mean, it was great. You did great. Boodle edited that video, so
yeah, I'll do it again sometime. If you want me to.
Yeah, that's fun. But that's it. That's really it. Although we wanted to talk about. That was the Hanging High ranting time. We hope you enjoyed this. Again, everyone, happy birthday, Jacob.
Happy birthday, Jacob.
Happy birthday.
I got Shanks.
Dude, Shanks.
I'll Shanks you.
I wish it was a chopper card.
Dude, yeah, I need to get one.
But yeah, my name is Han. You can follow me on all of my social medias, especially my TikTok. I have 1,127 followers because I'm sexy and cool.
Yeah, Hannah posts social clips.
So that's it. Follow me, Linktree in the YouTube description, or you can go to twitter.com/afterhourbrowsing, AFTRHRBRWSNG. And find me on there, youtube.com/Hannah Barbary. I am cool and sexy on YouTube as well. Take it away, boys.
So my name is Boodle. You can find me on Twitter mostly at Boodleberry. I do have a YouTube channel, but I haven't really posted on it lately because I'm bored, been focused on
just look up Boodle Fight on YouTube.
No, it's not true. It's not me. It's not me. I'm starting to feel like I need to take a shit. And that's where I'm going to leave it.
All right.
Dude, what the fuck? But yeah, like always, guys, it's your friendly neighborhood mother lover.
There it is.
And, this has been Hanging High.
It's hanging high.
And, hanging high. Yeah, and so 25 years of life, April 12th. That's Wednesday, the same day that this episode drops. So in the comments or whatever, just wish me a happy birthday. No. Just make me feel a little special because I need it right now.
Happy birthday to you.
Anyways, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, TikTok. I even think we have an Instagram, don't we?
Instagram, yeah, baby.
Yeah, give us a follow on Instagram. but yeah, so yeah, guys. Great stream.
Boodle's gonna shit. I'm gonna go take a shower. Jacob's gonna get ready to play Tower Unite. Let's go, boys! Woo, 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 woo!